Ever since COVID-19 burst on the scene, scientists saw right away it goes for the lungs. Then came a surprise when they saw that people treated for certain lung diseases seemed protected against the coronavirus. These COVID-19 patients with asthma and the lung disease COPD were in Asia, Europe, the United States, and elsewhere. We're just learning of this good news because they were either underrepresented or completely absent from the data.
So it seems to be a universal thing, which suggests that something that these patients are doing is keeping them out of hospital. It's not keeping them from getting COVID, but it's keeping them, at least in some cases, keeping them from getting very sick.
Turns out these patients who contracted COVID-19 were already using an inhaled corticosteroid, such as budesonide, to treat their asthma or COPD. Professor Dan Nicolau leads a clinical study testing budesonide's effectiveness when given very early after a person is infected with the coronavirus.
The earlier you use the steroids, the better. And that the effect should be around half. So it should reduce hospitalizations within our math model by around half.
Unwilling to wait for study results, some doctors have begun prescribing inhaled budesonide to patients recently diagnosed with COVID-19.
I can't do medicine without my faith. I often say to my patients up front that I consult Dr. Jesus.
Texas physician Ted Trimble has given it to 10 COVID patients with plans to continue.
9 out of those 10 did extremely well. Within the first few treatments, they could breathe much easier. One ended up needing to go to the hospital for oxygen support, but none required intubation or ventilation.
Tennessee family physician Tom Rogers has also seen positive results in 11 patients so far.
I started using it and with no side effects, and it seems to be if you treat early along with a Z-Pack and zinc, it really is very effective.
Rogers gives the budesonide specifically to COVID patients with respiratory symptoms like mild cough, wheezing, or shortness of breath. In cases where patients exhibit other symptoms such as loss of smell, achiness, or fatigue, Rogers quickly prescribes the controversial hydroxychloroquine with zinc and a Z-Pack.
I am a Christian, and my faith really carries me through every day, caring for people for all these years. And there's a couple things I'll tell you. One is there's another very powerful thing that works against any disease or illness, and it's called prayer.
While the Food and Drug Administration does not recommend budesonide or hydroxychloroquine to treat COVID-19, there has been movement. FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn now admitting some hydroxychloroquine studies suggest a benefit and pointed out doctors are free to prescribe drugs off-label and the FDA does not regulate the practice of medicine. Lori Johnson, CBN News.